Morning. Well, we look solid on Instagram today, so maybe we're all right. Sorry, guys, about yesterday. Instagram would not connect yesterday, but it looks like we're solid this morning, so yay, 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 yay. I don't know what happens with these apps and technology, but I guess, it is what it is. Good morning, everyone. So nice to have you all here. We're going to talk about one of my absolute favorite foods today, and one that I say I probably eat daily, which is broccoli. So I'm going to give you guys a minute to join in. Looks like we're solid. I'm so happy about that. I guess they keep changing the apps, and then they work, and then they don't work, and then, but that's the beauty of a live, right? It never goes perfectly. There's always something that goes wrong, and that's okay. So good morning. I have my sleepy mug today. It seems like this morning is I'm not sleepy, but it's one of those mornings where everything is everyone's moving a little bit slower. So everything seems to be running behind, which always impacts my schedule. And that is why I'm 3 minutes late. Good morning. Hello. So I am Dr. Tricia Pingle. This is your morning checkup. It is Wednesday, hump day, October 21st. The weather is getting cool and beautiful here in Arizona. It is why I live here. Some still say it's a little hot. Our daytimes are like 95, but it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. So we are going to talk about broccoli and why you need more broccoli in your life. Do any of you eat broccoli daily like me? I think if I don't have broccoli in my fridge, something's wrong. I didn't make it to the grocery store or something, because I never run out. I usually overstock it. And very rarely does it go bad in my fridge too, because I eat it so fast. I just love broccoli. And what I love about broccoli, which of course are the health benefits, which we're going to talk about, but also its versatility. I can roast it, I can saute it, I can put it in wraps, salads, I can serve it on the side of pretty much anything. I can put it in soup, I can put it in curry, I can put it anywhere, right? And that's what I love about it. It's so versatile. Not to mention, it does amazing things for your health. It's highly nutritious. And we talk a lot here about nutrient density and putting really high quality foods into your mouth. Your son wants me to know that he eats it for breakfast every day. I love it. My 9-year-old actually this morning, Shay, who frequents these lives every so often, he got up this morning for school and he said, "Mom, I want to make an omelet." And I said, "All right, go ahead," and he did. He made it all by himself. He made an omelet. I think he put ham in it, which wouldn't have been my choice, but And then after he was done, he was getting ready for school and he said, "Hey, you know what, Mom, I'm going to make an omelet tomorrow, but I think tomorrow I'm going to put vegetables in it." I was so excited. I do think broccoli will be in that mix. So I will be very excited if he does a broccoli omelet tomorrow. We will see, fingers crossed. Maybe I'm rubbing off on him. You think? All right, so let's talk about broccoli. Odds are when you were growing up, you were told, eat your broccoli, must eat your broccoli, finish your broccoli, right? And you're thinking, oh, come on, it can't be that important for my health. But it is. I'm being asked, how often should you consume it? This is my advice with any plant. Consume often and rotate. If you get bored of it, don't eat it, but continue to put other cruciferous vegetables of the same family in. So broccoli is part of a family of cruciferous vegetables. So kale, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage. So if you're in that family of plants, you can kind of rotate through them and get a lot of the same health benefits. Broccoli's easy. That's why I like it. It's easy to make. There's multiple preparations. You can add it to pretty much anything. It doesn't spoil anything. It's hard to add cabbage to everything, right? Sometimes it's hard to add kale to everything, although I do a pretty good job at that one. But so keeping it in the family usually helps. Sauteed with garlic, absolutely. I like it with a walnut sauce, like a vegan walnut sauce is really good as well, or a tahini sauce. I love that, love that. Broccoli sprouts, that's another great way to eat it. Thank you, Debbie. So buying the sprouts and putting it on top of salads or on top of little bowls, plant-based bowls and things like that is always fun, okay? You're the only one that eats it, but you sneak it into green juice for the kiddos. I do that too. Shh. Sneaky. All right. So you've been told your entire life, eat your vegetables, eat your broccoli. Broccoli's good for you, right? So why don't I tell you why? I'm sure this would have been helpful as a kid, but here you go. You're getting to learn now. So there are 7 benefits I'm going to go over that are in research for broccoli. So let's talk about them. Number 1, osteoporosis, bone health. For those of you out there with osteopenia, poor bone mineral density, osteoporosis, any sort of green vegetable is always going to be your friend, okay? 1, because it has vitamin K. All right. Now, vitamin K benefits your bones by actually increasing the bone strength. So it's not just about the bone mineral density. It actually prevents fracture or helps prevent fracture. And so I said 1 cup of steamed broccoli contains about 220 micrograms of vitamin K. Okay. Now, the RDA per day is 90 for women, 120 for men. So 1 cup of broccoli hits your vitamin K requirement. Now, on top of that, it's full of a bunch of other nutrients, which we're going to talk about, but it's easy. You can throw it into anything. I'm being asked about frozen broccoli. I think in a pinch, I always keep organic frozen broccoli in my freezer. I don't tend to go to that initially. I try to always do fresh, but there are some days where maybe I didn't go to the grocery store or I want to add it to a soup or something, so I'll use the frozen. I do not recommend canned of anything in regards to vegetables. I definitely would do an organic frozen. But yeah, it cooks up real well. Sometimes it's a little bit more mushy, so it's hard to roast a frozen broccoli, but if you're going to saute it or you're going to steam it, usually it goes over pretty well. Or add it to a soup or a curry or something like that, it'll usually cook up pretty well. So yeah, that's the backup for me. I always have certain vegetables frozen in my freezer in that moment. It came in real handy when the lockdowns happened because you couldn't get to the grocery store and get anything, and I was just like, forget it, I'll just eat out of my freezer, right? Anyway, vitamin K, it has tons of vitamin K. Now we talked about vitamin K, I think it was last week, right? And about how it helps bone health, but there was a study that revealed that when 440 postmenopausal women with osteopenia took just 5 milligrams of vitamin K1 each day for 2 years, their chances of experiencing a fracture decreased by more than 50%. Now, I've already said that eating a cup of broccoli pretty much hits your requirement. So just add that in every single day or every few days, get that in there. If you're not going to take broccoli, like you're tired of broccoli, pick a different cruciferous vegetable because all of them have a nice amount of vitamin K, okay? But they definitely help your bone health. Okay, and this is probably why when we were growing up, our parents were saying, eat your broccoli, it helps you grow, right? I'm sure it had to do with the bone health component. Of course, my parents never told me that. They just told me I was supposed to eat it, right? And we all know we don't listen to our parents so well when we're little, so maybe we should explain why, right? So now you can tell the kiddos it helps you from breaking your arm when you're out skateboarding or snowboarding or whatever. My 9-year-old, anything that has wheels, he's pretty much on. And I'm just waiting for him to fall and break something. Marie, no one, in my opinion, needs a straight calcium pill because calcium does not work alone, and our food is full of calcium. It's supplemented everywhere. Vitamin K, far more important. Vitamin D, far more important. Magnesium, boron, strontium, those are all important for bone health and need to be considered, okay? Calcium in your multivitamin or calcium and an additional magnesium, but taking calcium by itself is ridiculous. But don't get me started. Number 2, why should we eat broccoli? Supports eye health. Now, I have pretty horrible vision. I've had astigmatism ever since I was little. But it's funny because it keeps getting better as I get older, and it hasn't really gotten any worse since I became vegetarian. And I wonder, is it all the plants I eat? Maybe. But broccoli contains the carotenoids lutein and zeaxanthin, which are known to reduce the onset of many eye conditions. According to a 2006 study, these antioxidants were associated with a significant reduction in the risk of developing age-related maculopathy. Now, this is where the retina in the eye starts to degenerate. Okay, and that can lead to blindness, definitely leads to visual impairment, very common as you age. So eating things like broccoli and that cruciferous vegetable family can actually help prevent the damage to the retina. Bingo, right? Also, the same study revealed that beta carotene, which is another antioxidant found in broccoli, help reduce the risk of developing nuclear cataracts. So these are cataracts that impact the center of the lens, right? Now, do you guys remember the words beta carotene? Do those ring true to you from a previous life? So beta carotene is what turns into vitamin A in our body. So a lot of our multivitamins will be full of beta carotene. You can eat a lot more beta carotene than you can vitamin A safely, and it converts into itself. So it's great to incorporate more foods with beta carotene. Anything colorful probably has beta carotene. But on that note, because of the beta carotene component, because it can convert into vitamin A, also that helps fight night blindness and dry eyes. There was a 2019 study that revealed that consuming vitamin A improved the quality of tears in patients with dry eyes. So broccoli has a lot of different benefits to your eyes in a lot of different ways. And that's what I love about plants, guys, is that it's never just one thing. It's like, okay, well, because of this component, it does this, then this component does this, and they all balance each other out, right? That's why it's hard to overdose on food, nutritious food, because you really, really can't, you know? So very cool. Great for the eyes, great for the bones, okay? Number 3, broccoli contains anti-inflammatory properties, okay? Now we know that inflammation is at the root cause of most disease and disease development, right? Diabetes, heart disease, autoimmune disease, gut-related concerns, cancer. These are all inflammatory conditions. So this is why plant-based diets tend to lower inflammation and tend to be recommended for these types of conditions. Broccoli fights inflammation directly. And according to a 2014 study of more than 1,000 women, consuming cruciferous vegetables, which broccoli is one of those, reduced markers of inflammation, get this, by up to 24.8%. So almost 25% reduction in inflammation by eating cruciferous vegetables. Just let that sink in. I don't even know that an anti-inflammatory medication can have that type of result. So, and no side effect, right? The side effect is wellness and other nutritional properties. There was another study in 2014 that examined broccoli florets and confirmed that broccoli benefits the body due to, and I quote, its potent antioxidant and anti-inflammatory effects. Okay? So eat your broccoli, folks. Eat it. Okay? Now, memory and brain health. Number 4. How many of you feel like you're always in a fog or you're worried about your memory? Well, first of all, I want to remind you that stress does that, okay? So don't forget to take care of your stress response. If you're running from a bear, you're certainly not going to remember where you ran or all the little details, but we also want to keep our mind sharp with the right types of nutrient-dense foods. Broccoli, once again, is one of those, okay? It's a superfood. Okay, there was a study in 2018 on almost 1,000 patients, and they ranged from ages 58 to 99. Okay, and the researchers found that consuming green leafy vegetables rich in nutrients such as vitamin K, lutein, beta carotene, and folate once each day reduced slow age-related cognitive decline. And we've talked about this with these green leafy vegetables. Anything green really helps the brain, and broccoli is very green. So broccoli is always a great one to work into the mix. Those that consumed the most vegetables rich in these nutrients scored at a level that was equivalent to being 11 years younger than their age. So we talk all the time, oh, I want to be younger, you know, oh, we want to be this or that. We don't want to feel our age. Well, eat more vegetables, eat more plants. I think anyone I know that really eats a healthy diet definitely looks younger than they are, right? Spring mix salads are good. I would rotate everything in them though. Like I wouldn't just do that, but yeah, sure. Yeah, green leafy vegetables are great. Yesterday, what did I put in my salad yesterday? I had arugula, I had kale, I had spinach, and I had green leaf lettuce. Pumpkin seeds, some cranberries. I did roasted sweet potatoes. You know, yum stuff. And almond butter chili dressing. That was kind of good. It was basically like sriracha, not sriracha, like sambal oelek with almond butter and some ginger and a little warm water. It was really good. It was yum, 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 yum. All right, so number 5, cancer, the dreaded cancer. Many of you know I've had personal experience with that in my family. Many of you likely have family members with cancer, and one of the most researched areas in cancer is diet, right? What could they eat to slow progression, to possibly reverse cancer? Plants come up a lot in this research, a lot. Sometimes you hear a little bit about, intermittent fasting and keto. Those are pretty new studies. The plant studies continually come up year after year as being beneficial to cancer. So let's talk about broccoli and its benefit to cancer. Okay, so it turns out that there's quite a lot of research in regards to this. And cruciferous vegetables such as broccoli contain a natural compound, actually many natural compounds, that inhibit and neutralize cancer-causing compounds. In fact, they've been shown to help prevent the growth and spread of cancer cells. Important, right? Research has shown that there's a compound in broccoli, and this is one I use quite a lot clinically, called indole 3-carbinol. For those of you taking notes, indole 3-carbinol, or I3C. Now, many of you may have heard of the substance called DIM. That's similar. But what I3C does is it primarily, it does a lot of different things, but one of the main reasons it's used in naturopathic medicine is to modulate estrogen response. So if you have an estrogen-based cancer, it's particularly helpful. But research has shown that it will actually suppress tumor development and growth. Okay, so eating cruciferous vegetables can really, really, really help here. Now, I get a lot of people asking me while I'm on this note about thyroid and cruciferous vegetables. Oh, I have thyroid disease. I can't eat cruciferous vegetables. No, I can't eat broccoli because I have a low thyroid. Listen, you have to eat a heck of a lot of broccoli, okay? A lot to damage the thyroid. And as far as I'm concerned, if you're eating a diet, you're exercising, you're feeling well, and you're having your thyroid levels tested, as long as they're coming back in range and you're feeling pretty good, there's absolutely no reason why you should avoid these wonderfully healthy foods, okay? I have yet to date in my practice seen somebody who actually hindered their thyroid by eating plants. Now, granted, I'm sure there's somebody out there because the warning has happened. I would think it would more come from taking extracts from it and doing it in high dose. But I've actually seen more benefit from plants in thyroid patients than not. So if you've been told you cannot eat these, just keep in mind, it's hard to eat a ton of broccoli, right? You really don't eat much more than a cup. It's filling, right? So it's not like you're, eating 5 or 6 cups a day and that's all you're eating, right? There's other aspects to your diet as well. So if it's part of a well-balanced diet, I don't see any reason. Some of you doctors out there may disagree with me. I'd love to hear your argument. I'd love to see some case studies on where this actually caused a problem. I have yet to see it. Okay. Cool. I had a question. Broccoli, steamed, grilled, all of the above. I rotate it. Obviously, raw has the most nutrient component, but that doesn't mean that when you roast it or steam it or grill it that there's no nutrient component. Okay, it's still good, and it helps with variety, right? We all like variety, okay? All right, one of my most favorite topics here that I know I guys hit you over the head with it, but number 1 killer in the world, number 1. A third of our world's population will die of heart disease. A third of our world's population. Do you know that, in America alone, we lose 650,000 people per year to cardiovascular disease, okay? Over 500,000 people per year to cardiovascular disease. Worldwide, 18 million people per year die of cardiovascular disease. It's 31% of all of our deaths, okay? Now, here's the thing. You probably walk outside some days and be like, okay, I have to be really careful driving. I could get in a car accident. Or, oops, I better grab my mask. I could get infected. Or, worrying about a symptom being cancer, right? You worry about all these things with your health. But how many of you walk out the door and go, well, gosh, I have a 30% chance that I'm going to die of cardiovascular disease? Like, that's big, okay? And it really, I know we talk about it, but it's really overlooked because cardiovascular disease can be managed by lifestyle. It can be. Plants play a huge role in this. Broccoli plays a huge role in this. Lifestyle plays a huge role in this. It's almost completely preventable. Maybe not completely. There's some genetics out there. There's different factors, whatever, but I'm sure we could lower it quite a bit. But not very many of us walk out of our house and think, I could die of a heart attack today. In fact, most of the deaths, I think it was like a third of the deaths happen in people under 70 and are sudden. You know, my dad had a heart attack at 40, which is probably why I'm very passionate about this, and he died at 58 of a stroke. Getting something out of his kitchen, out of his refrigerator, stroke hits, he falls to the ground. That was it, right? 58 years old. Now I'm in my mid-40s. 58 isn't that far away. So I think about that all the time. And I hear patients all the time, oh my gosh, what if, I have cancer? Or what if I get in a car accident? Or what if my kids get hit trying to cross the street? Or, we worry about all these things where our odds are a lot lower. We don't usually worry about cardiovascular disease. Am I right? How many of you worry about it on a daily basis? It's the number one killer in the world, hands down. Cancer is a close second, but it's up there. We also have the diabetes epidemic, which overlaps with cardiovascular disease. So, where do you think I'm going with this? Broccoli helps lower cardiovascular disease, development of cardiovascular disease. That's where I'm going with this, folks. So this is one we definitely need to discuss, and one that I cannot beat home enough, okay? A 2008 study revealed that eating steamed broccoli would improve bile acid binding, which has been shown to lower cholesterol as well as lower the overall risk of developing cardiovascular disease. Very specific, right? I love studies that are very specific. Interestingly, the study revealed that consuming steamed broccoli helped improve this bile acid binding by 10%, okay? Which is great. Another study, just a new one in 2020, was released that revealed that women who consumed more than 45 grams of cruciferous vegetables, such as broccoli and cabbage, Brussels sprouts, whatnot, each day were 46% less likely to have excessive calcium buildup in their aorta. Less plaque development. That's what that means. Cruciferous vegetables means less plaque development, means less heart attack, which means less stroke risk, okay? You're late to class. Demerit. Oh no. Luckily they're recorded, Lori, but don't be late again. Just kidding. I was late today too. I'm having too much fun today. Now let me just add that. I just said that 45 grams of broccoli lowers cruciferous vegetables. Do you want to know how much that is? That's a quarter cup of broccoli a day. It's nothing. These little things that we do can improve our overall health. And if we're reducing our risk of cardiovascular disease, we're also reducing our risk of many other diseases because they all go hand in hand. Very, very, very important, and something that I'm very passionate about. Because the top 2 killers in the world killed my parents. And I don't think that had to happen. I think that all of us can come together, eat right, and improve our overall health. And that is why I'm here to teach you these little things like adding a quarter cup of broccoli a day to your diet could actually make enough impact to prevent this from happening or at least delay it longer, right? Okay, number 7, and I'm sure you guys will love this one, is that broccoli can help fight hair loss. I think one of the most common questions I get is, why am I losing my hair? How do I fix losing my hair? And one of the most difficult things to treat is hair loss because it could happen for so many different reasons. It could be hormonal, it could be genetic, it could also be nutrient-based. Now, I don't always say that biotin is a go-to because often it's not a biotin deficiency that's causing hair loss. I find that hair loss is more likely due to stress. That's what I find. Probably 85% of the cases is that people's cortisol levels are out of rhythm. But in this case, broccoli helps provide biotin, which does help strengthen the hair. So broccoli is pretty rich in B vitamins for a vegetable, and those are depleted during times of stress. Okay, so this all goes hand in hand, right? It's never just one thing at a time, but it's hand in hand. Now, B vitamins are crucial for lowering your stress levels, which also helps your hair loss, but they also help strengthen the hair follicles. So studies have shown that hair loss is actually a symptom of a deficiency in biotin or B12 and other types of B vitamin deficiencies. Broccoli is also rich in vitamin C, okay, which also strengthens your hair follicles. And this is because this vitamin C aids in the synthesis of collagen, okay, which is very important in strengthening the hair and promoting the health of your scalp. So broccoli comes at the hair loss angle in multiple ways. So I'm going to go over these reviews and then I'll go through and I will answer your questions for you because I see quite a few of them coming through. I love the question about folic acid. Don't go anywhere, Amy. Hang on a second. So benefits of broccoli: help fight osteoporosis, support for those that were late. Lori, here you go. Okay. Help fight osteoporosis, support eye health, contains anti-inflammatory properties, supports memory and overall brain health, helps reduce cancer risk, helps lower risk of heart attack and other cardiovascular disease, and fights hair loss. Seriously, people, add broccoli into your day. Why not? Right? Richard's late too. It's a late day. You guys are going to have to write an essay. Kidding. It's one of those silly Wednesday days. Let me go back to some of my questions. I'm going to start with Instagram here and then I'll move over to Facebook. I saw quite a few. Did I see the 2014 study on kids ages 7 to 9 where dietary fiber intake correlated with ability to focus and avoid distraction? Yeah, absolutely. Fiber is a major deficiency. It's a big problem in children because they're eating processed foods. So yeah, there's a ton of research on attention deficit, performance in school with eating more vegetable-rich diets. Those are improving them. So yeah, there's actually a ton of studies on there. Very cool. Having vegetables in an omelet may assist with focus. Yeah. So that's how I prefer omelets, would be with vegetables, but people tend to lean towards meat, but no, vegetables definitely good. And fiber is a huge problem. A deficiency of fiber is a huge problem in our society in general. Thank you for that note. Sprouted broccoli is another good option. Yeah, I love sprouted broccoli. I switch, at our grocery store, we have different types of sprouts. So there's like sprouted broccoli, sprouted radish, alfalfa sprouts, and I rotate and add them to my salads, sandwiches, things like that, just to get a wide variety. But yeah, sprouted is fantastic. Great way to get nutrients. Absolutely. Does it have any muscle building properties? What do you mean exactly? People ask that all the time. Well, eating plants, I can't build muscle. Well, I know I'm a thin person, but I build muscle. I would consider myself a pretty strong person for my size. And I don't eat meat at all. So yeah, any sort of nutrients. Amino acids are really important for building muscle. I get amino acids and fats and things like that from nuts and seeds, right? So then the broccoli is adding in the nutrients that help facilitate those reactions. So yeah, I don't see why not. If someone said, hey, does broccoli directly build a muscle? I'd probably have to say no. But does it supply nutrients to be able to have proper metabolism and catabolism, which is the building of things? Yeah, I know a lot of vegans that are really strong. I know a bodybuilder, a female bodybuilder that's vegan. She's amazing. I'm just like, wow, she doesn't need a lick of meat. Plants absolutely can do it. Your body knows how to build muscle in the right conditions. So hopefully that answers. I'm not exactly sure what you were going for, but hopefully that helps you out there, Mina. Hello. Okay, if you're one of those people that cannot process folic acid. So I have a great question from Amy over here regarding the MTHFR mutation. For those of you that weren't here for the MTHFR live, go back and watch it. Seriously, so much education in there that I think everybody needs to know. But when you have the mutation MTHFR, which I do, I have both, you cannot convert folic acid into methylated folate very well. Now, if you guys watched that live, I told you that I had both mutations, but somehow I didn't have any symptoms. And the reason I believe I didn't have symptoms is because I was eating the methylated form of folate in plant-based foods. So yeah, if you're eating broccoli, you're getting activated, healthy folate. You're not getting folic acid. Okay, so plants are good for you. Plants are very good for you. No worries there. Okay. With a thyroid issue, is broccoli okay? Yeah, just spoke on that. Rewind a little bit. Absolutely. In my short answer is yes. Unless you're eating broccoli all day, every day for meals, like 10 cups per meal, I wouldn't stress over it too much. But go back and look at that. Just rewind a little bit. And I did discuss that one, honeybee. All right, you late people over here on Facebook. Let's see what we got. Stress. I hear ya, Marie. Your mouth is watering over broccoli, Tommy? All right. I like it. Mine too. Can I get rid of AFib? Well, I mean, yes, I have many patients who have had AFib, and I work to assist them with treating it naturally, finding the cause of it, or working with their cardiologist to find the cause of it. Yeah. Stress is often underlying. A lot of nutritional deficiencies as well. So if you have a naturopath in your area, I always recommend, if you have something like AFib, see a naturopath in your area as well for integrative care, because there's a lot that we can do. I love broccolini as well. Broccolini is my favorite over broccoli, but I don't always get that one. All right, so let's see. Really, I missed what that really was too, Marie, but okay. Is it true that you have to cut and leave broccoli for about 20 minutes before consuming it to release the phytonutrients? That's interesting. I'll have to look that up. I wouldn't doubt that it may help, just kind of like cutting a flower, but I wouldn't think it would be enough to say that you absolutely would have to let it sit there. I'll have to look that one up. I'm not 100% positive on that. I haven't heard that directly. I just start eating it right out of the fridge, right? What should we look for when shopping for a good quality hair, skin, and nail supplement? Erin, that's a great suggestion. I would recommend going back and watching my live on multivitamins, how to pick a good multivitamin. I have a lot of really good data in there. When it comes to hair, skin, and nails, keep in mind that hair, skin, and nails are all managed by multiple minerals, multiple vitamins. So it really comes down to eating a healthy diet and then supplementing those in lower trace amounts. I think so many people rush to biotin and they buy something that just has biotin, or it doesn't have active forms of B vitamins, and then they're taking high doses of that. And anytime that you put the body out of balance, and you can do this with nutrients, guys, you can totally screw it up by taking the wrong supplements. I mean, I get it. If you're taking a ton of biotin, but everything else is down low, you're not going to see a benefit, right? So having a more well-balanced diet that incorporates different aspects of nutrition is really important. And then I look to things like my Total Mineral, which has trace amounts, and that's available at totalhealthapothecary.com, and it's called Total Mineral. Now it doesn't, I don't know that it has biotin in it. It doesn't, but it does. You don't necessarily need it because you're looking at more mineral development. If you're looking for a B vitamin, my Total B complex would go really well with that. But I think whenever you find a supplement that's targeted for hair, skin, and nails, you might be paying for something that you may or may not need if you just had a really good quality multivitamin. So take a look at that live. I also have an article on that, Erin, at drpingle.com. Okay? Hopefully that helps. Richard is late, but he loves broccoli. All right. You can be late. Next time, bring me broccoli. Have I ever heard of Juice Plus? I have, Marie. Yeah, I have a lot of patients who have used that. It's a way to get some nutrients in there in condensed form. It's a nice starting point to nutrition, right? Christy, hi, Dr. Pingle. So excited to chat with me tonight on the Facebook group Journey to Wholeness After Breast Cancer. I'm excited to be there, Christy. I am going to be interviewed by Christy tonight and on cancer and wellness and naturopathic medicine, and I'm psyched. So that'll be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. I really am. I would be trouble if I had to do an essay. I was just kidding. You don't have to do an essay. Just be on time to class, Now vegan, I'm lifting more and recovering factor. Yes. What was the documentary on that? Someone else will say it. I can't remember the name, but a documentary on going vegan and recovering athletes that are recovering faster and feeling better. And I 100% think it's better to go that route than the real heavy meat route. And now a lot of you would disagree with me, and that's okay. We don't have to agree, but I absolutely think that longevity, if you want to build muscle, you want to be strong, you want to work out, you want to do your thing, and you actually want to reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease, cancer, diabetes, immune conditions, all of that, you're better off going primarily plant-based as longevity. It's also maintainable. You can do it. You can live vegan and eat pretty well. It's very hard to live your entire life keto. If you haven't tried it, it's hard to do more than a few weeks, in my opinion. It's really difficult. All you want to do is go out to dinner with your friends. You can't find anything to eat. Plant-based, there's always an option, right? So, okay, I'm going to run through these questions and I'll let you guys go. I definitely need to work on eating more broccoli, stressed all the time, and my pharmacology class. Yeah, pharmacology I enjoyed because I really love biochemistry. So to see how the pharmaceuticals work was really of interest to me. And then when I learned the plants that do the same thing or something very similar but provide even more nutritional benefit, that was my favorite. So Rebecca, learn that and then go learn about herbal medicine and compare the two. Pretty freaking cool. Really cool. Is it all right to cook using a microwave? Lori, I would not recommend it. I'm going to keep that the short answer. I would not recommend it. You're definitely going to lose nutrients through the microwave. We actually ditched our microwave and got a steam oven, thinking we would miss the microwave. Now, I have a small microwave out in my office just because sometimes I have to reheat coffee or something like that, but I very, very rarely use it. But we thought, okay, we've got a microwave out in the home office, so we won't, maybe we'll probably use it. We never use it, like hardly ever. The thing doesn't get used. The steam oven absolutely replaced the microwave. Reheats everything, keeps nutrients intact, so I highly recommend ditching the wave. That's like garlic after you cut it, leaving alone for a minute. Yeah, I mean, I could see how enzymes would be released when you cut it. I wouldn't think it would take 20 minutes though, but I'd have to look that up. I just don't know the timeline on it. You're welcome. Your grandkids take Juice Plus. Yeah, great for kids. I could see that. You're welcome for your response. Game Changer. Yes, thank you, Joanna. It was called The Game Changer that talked about vegan and athletes. I really found it interesting, didn't you? I thought it was cool. Yes, thank you. All of you are all over it. I love it. So great. All right, guys, thanks for being here. Go eat your broccoli. I'll be back tomorrow, usual time. So nice to have you guys here. Have a fantastic Wednesday. Do me a favor today. Well, number one, check out the article at drpingle.com. Okay, do that for me. Number two, share this video. Let people know why they should eat broccoli. Share it, comment, tag. Help me out. Help more people follow so that I can get this education to more of you, because I want to reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and cancer in this country. I want to reduce it. So help me spread the word, okay? So I'm giving you guys a list. drpingle.com, share, like, and tag. And I want you to smile at 2 random strangers today. Yes, I realize you'll probably have a mask on. Do it with your eyes or pull your mask down and smile and make someone's day, because I will tell you, everybody is on edge. And when people are on edge, they're stressed out and they don't pay attention, and it's more likely for them to do something they shouldn't do. So smile, spread the love, spread the positivity, and spread the message. Please. Thank you guys for all of your support. I will be here tomorrow. Talk to you later. Bye.